Okay, and I'm super exercise physics, and I found myself a little bit into the silver bullet. That is here. I'm a little bit into the silver bullet. Yet another, bidirectional note-taking app, self-hosting application. Or PKM, personal knowledge management tool, and I'm a little bit into it, and I'm not also into this app, but also into the something like the tree systems, underlying, the file or folder structures of it. It seems that it is easy, right, for anybody to that is already grown up or an adult. They are familiar with the either Windows or Mac or Linux system. They have some folder structures, right? Folders, and files, right? So anybody is familiar with the current cell phones or PCs or laptops, they should be familiar with some file systems. And its file systems is a tree system, and it is precise to express the unique location or ID of a file or folder, right? So on the disk, so what I'm saying is that let's compare three softwares, note-taking apps. The first is Obsidian, OB, the second is Siyuan or SY, and the third is the Silver Bullet or SB, right? So when I was developing another thing, plugin, I'm developing some plugins of it, and for the past 2 months, and I found that Silver Bullet is really easy to understand or into, but fucking hard to dive into if you're programming it with some first is Lua, space Lua, and second would be some CSS and JS, and third should be TS plugin. If you're into it, you will find yourself, you'll find Silver Bullet is very easy to, not that easy, right? It's a little bit hacky to deploy, so, but very easy to get into the mind flow, the workflow of it, and there's so many commands of it, and you can design your own commands, and your hooks, your anyway, it's a system of your own. So little by little, you'll find yourself, like me, a little bit into it. I'm not only into this app. I play with all kinds of other apps, Logseq and Anytype, and right, there's some other note-taking apps, Romedit, right? There's so many other apps and note-taking apps, but so let's just randomly pick 3 note-taking apps. The first is Obsidian, the second is Siyuan, the third is Silver Bullet. I'm a fan of PKM, and I'm also a fan of tree systems, and this is the first episode about tree system, that is specifically file or folder structure or hierarchy or tree system, right? There are 3 systems, tree systems, typically. The first is this one, right? And the second would be breadcrumbs here, right? Or I can show you some Siyuan's breadcrumbs, right? The breadcrumb plugin or official breadcrumbs out page, right? This is in page breadcrumb plugin, So this is the second tree system I want to introduce in this triology, in the second episode of triology. And how about the third tree system? I think you're able to understand it for a little bit. That is the headings of any website online, right? headings of a GitHub repo, the README file, right? Headings of something of your documents, right? The headings of another one, your IDEs, right? Here, there's some pin headings, right? And so, which means there's some pin headings. So there are so many file systems around us. Yet we have little bit, not much recognition. At the beginning, maybe you think that's easy. It's as easy as ABC, like Silverblade in the beginning. But when you dive into it, you fucking find. I'm sorry. It's complex. If you want to describe it, or let me show you. If you want to build another app, TS or JS plug inside Silverblade, or any other app, you want to develop your own tree view plugin to demonstrating or showing or tracking the file system or folder structures hierarchies here, like this. If you want to develop something like that and make it responsive and make it and coloring it, both the text and the background of it, it costs some, it costs some minds of it. There's something more about the tree systems that is, that you think you are familiar with, but no, trust me, no. I mean, if you want to describe the things that I am developing, first, if you want to vibe coding it, you have to describe it precisely, right? So, okay, let's use Luna. We have to translate for a little bit. So if you want to vibe coding this plugin, you have to first describe it clearly. Otherwise you ask for help, but right, you cannot achieve the same effect, right? So this episode about the tree or file system here, what I want to do is trying to make you or make myself clear about some logic behind the responsive behavior of this file or folder tree view system or plugin here. It's a little bit complex than the OBS or Sylvian's official tree view plugin here in Silverblade. It's a little bit complex like that. And that's because these are 3 generations of it. The first one is tree view plugins here, made by our ancestors in Silverblade, and another Doom one that is a thing here. Where's actually? I mean, it's Xvideos style and theme and Doom one. This Doom one plugin, and a favor of a fan of it, and I'm a fan of it too. And I developed into Doom 2 plugin, so I add some responsive behavior of it. And if you're a logsec, if you are a logsec user, you might, you might familiar with some another tree, how to say, a plugin. I mean, this. That is the something like this one. This is another, bullets. It operates on bullets or outlines or some indent structures, right? So this is yet another tree view, right? Responsive behavior of it. So there's something more to say. These are all kinds of tree view systems. But in this episode, I'm going to explain the color of the Doom 2 thing, right? So there are three front colors. The first is blue, the second is green, the third one is how do you say, pink or maroon, right? So the blue, green, maroon, and what's that? What is the green color? The front color, the text color. Okay, it means that there's something in that. It's a folder, yet it is also a file, and there's some text or information stored in this file. 3 points. It's a folder, it's a file, and there's something in this file on your disk. Ultimately, as something, bits on your disk. So, how about the green one? It's a folder. It's not a file. It doesn't have a file. I mean, it's a folder. It's not a file, or it's a file with zero information stored in that. So, how about the pink one? The pink text is about. It's not a folder, right? It's a file. It's a file has something stored in underlying, at the bottom, right? It's not a folder. It's a file at the bottom and it stores something. So these are three stuff. It's how to say, these three stuff. Or you can view something, or you can say something like, if it is not green and pink, then it should be blue. Vice versa, if it is not blue or and green, it is pink, right? So okay, it is all about the front color of a tree or tree system, is specifically file or folder structure. So there are some colors out there, right? And there should be some colors out there, right? Because it's another dimension of information representation, right? So it is but it is just the front color. It's the text color. There's some backgrounds color. There are some backgrounds color, as you might sing. There's some backgrounds colors, but so what is the backgrounds color? There are some blue ones, right? What we discovered now. There's some white ones, but deeper. There's some white ones, but shallower, right? Or something like, or thinner, or something like that. And there are some pink ones, right? There's some pink ones. What is that? There are 4 colors. One color more, right? So what does it mean? What does this information behind the background colors mean? Okay, here what does it mean? So first of all, if you click somewhere, any folder, any file, it should be, the background color should be white, but yet deep, right? And if you click something anywhere, either at the bottom or at the ground or top or in between, it should be the white and deep. It's background color. And how about the fathers of it, or the fathers of it, that is father's father, that is a grandpa of it, or the first ancestor of the folder or file that you click, should be in line with its front color. The background color of it should be in line with its front color. If it is green, the front color of it is, if it is green, the background color should be green. I mean, the front color, if it is blue, the background color should be blue. That is the first ancestor. If you trace the history, the ancestors of ancestors of ancestors, to the root of the folder or file or object or page that you are clicking. The farthest of it should be in line with its own color. I mean, that's my design. I don't know your design, but that's my design. So how about and anything or any folders in between the object you or page you click, in between or among, between the object you click and the ancestors of it should be painted in, the background color should be white, yet not that deep. I mean, white but shallower, the background color of these page objects, right? So the name of it. So what am I saying is that, okay, now we explain 3 colors. One color is missing. That is these pink backgrounds. What does it mean? It means that it is already at the bottom, and it is a fire, and it has something, right? It has some words in that, stored in that, or maybe some other pictures in that. It is something at the bottom, and it is a fire, and it has some words in that. That is the object you are going to navigating, right? You are going to editing, you are going to viewing. Is the most heaviest information stored in those files, right? It's just kind of viewer feedback. So now we have there's something, and also there's something missing. That is anything at the bottom, and between the bottom and the thing and the object you click, there are some folders too, like the 冰水清韵 here, and its background color should be painted as the same as the at the top and between the top and the object you click, the current page, right? Between the top and the current page, it's white yet shallower. Between the bottom and your page and the thing you click, it's still white, still and shallower, right? So the logic is pretty much like this. So I think this file system is good, and the reason why it's good is that it shows where you are, right? Where you are, and what is your ancestors or your siblings. Siblings hasn't shown here, right? Just your ancestors and your children's, right? The children's of it, right? And what your current how to say, which folder or file you are currently browsing, right? And what's more is that the entire hierarchy of the current selection page, I mean the tree branch of it. So the logic I design is pretty much like that. Siblings shouldn't be here. That's because the siblings of your clicking shouldn't be here. That's because it should be here, I suppose, but I haven't included because it's already 4 or 3 colors, so it's a little bit visually distracting. So, but we will see something, how to say, maybe later in another tree system. We'll see some siblings here, right? But it's in the next episode, not this episode of the triology. So I think this episode is almost done. And there's something more. That is the color of the triangles, right? It shows you. It looks like a Log6 plugin, right? It shows you where you are again. Where you are. The hover over of your mouse, right? Hover over some objects or some pages or folders or files. It tells you where you are. Again, like the red triangle, spanned or not spanned, and the the file or folder or pages object's name and turn into white, right? So it tells you where you are and not what you click. The what you click is is governed by the background color. Where you are is about the front color combined with the triangle's color, right? Pretty much like the log6. But log6 is click, using this logic to show it's clicking. But I'm using this logic to show it's the location of hovering over but yet not clicking. So there are three kinds of logic right now, front color, background color, and hovering logic, right? The hovering color. So it's just, if you are really into or dive into this tree system, there's a lot of things you could play with. I'll show you yet another. This file system, right? This file system, tree system 2, tree system 1, and tree system 2, in page, and it's across pages, and in page tree system 3, that is heading structures, and tree system, let's say this one, right? Tree system 3 or 4 or 3.5, or tree system 4, that's the breadcrumbs, and there's another tree system. I'll show you something like Shift Alt K, right? This is another page systems, right? And there's something like Shift Alt H, and this is another tree system that's heading structure. But the colors are quite not the same. The logic is behind it. It's not something you are familiar with, right? the orange one, the blue one. What does it mean? Okay, I'll show you something. It's just how do you say? Where is that? Right. So there's so many tree systems. Lasting for a week. I'm just into maybe 2 weeks. I'm into all kinds of tree systems. So this is this episode has already show you the tree system. How to say the disk or file or folder or page tree systems in TreeView plugin in Silverbullet. The logic behind it, that is the Doom 2's themes, the logic behind the TreeView structure or hierarchy. So the next episode, I'm going to talk about this one. That is the breadcrumbs. I mean, in Siyuan, the breadcrumbs, I am trying to imitate this one. I think. Okay. There's another thing I'm missing. That is, in the Silverbullets tree system, right? It's pinned at the left. It's sidebar, right? It's pinned at sidebar. And of course you can cancel it, hide it, show it, and but the thing is there are something breadcrumbs. I think this is, just tell me if what is better, which is better, horizontally or vertically shown the structure. These three official ones is as a list, right? There's some indent as a list, but it's just vertically. But in Siyuan, there's some horizontally ones, right? There's some design philosophy of it. Horizontally, breadcrumbs of file folder tree structures, but you can click something and then it becomes the list, and vertically, right? First horizontally, and click becomes vertically. So there's some philosophy behind it. I think this is better. But I don't know why they designed it, and by default is as a long list vertically. So I think this is better to some extent, right? I think this breadcrumb is better, and inspired by it, I made another one, another breadcrumbs here, right, horizontally as a widget in Silverblade, or as a top widget or top breadcrumbs, right? So, and there's some there's some bottom breadcrumbs, and I'll show you something like that in the next episode, the second episode of the triology. Okay, here comes the second episode of this live stream or video. Okay, in the first episode we introduced some three file or folder tree structures or hierarchies or systems in both Siyuan, right, and Obsidian and Silverblade. We are going to cover some basics of another tree system, that is a breadcrumbs, and I found it in Siyuan at first. I found there are vertical, right, tree system of file folder structures, and there are some horizontal file or folder structures here. So I'm just okay. The two things are the same, right? It helps you navigate. It mainly oriented to helping you navigate among of between files or folders, right? I found this one is charming because it is both horizontal and vertical, right? If you not click the arrows, it is horizontal. If you click the arrows, it's vertical. So it charms me. That's because if you combine the arrows, if you calculate the how to say the arrows of it, the space or image, or how to say, it's a square, and it's not a very long, very thin column. It's no very long, very thin line, right? It's not a row, it's not a column, it's not a list, right? It's a two-dimensional thing. It's not a one-dimensional line or list. So that's what I want. So inspired by this Siyuan structure, I developed something like some breadcrumb plugin, right? That is, you can pick, if you click the arrows here, you can pick the siblings of 科学知识 or Hello Siyuan or 飞行光学. If you click this arrow, it picks its siblings, right? However, if you click this one, it picks siblings too, right? The siblings of 冰雪奇缘, the siblings of input method, the siblings of language, right? The siblings of language. Let's go back. Oh, we can't go back? For what? Okay. Shift Alt H. Holy shit, where's the language? Sorry. Okay, where I belong. Okay, so we come back. Anyway, so the logic is pretty much like Siyuan's, right? This triangle equals to the emoji here, right? But it shows you how much of it, how many siblings you have. There are 15 siblings of language. There are one sibling of input method, right? There are 7 siblings of 冰雪奇缘. So it shows you the counts of it. And what's more, maybe if you get inside something like if you get inside, I don't know how to say, but if you get inside some pages, there are no emojis here. If there's no emojis here, it means there's no siblings of it, right? It hints you. It doesn't show you, but it hints you. It doesn't show you in the at the appearance, right? It just underline implies that there's no simplings of it. So there are 14 simplings of it, and you know the colors of it is different. It's in blue t-shirts, 2 men in blue t-shirts, right? It's emoji and 2 men, 2, right? 2 men in blue t-shirts, and some other shits is 2 men. Sometimes it's 2 men in orange shits. For what? It's because it's at the bottom, right? It shows you. It immediately shows you it's at the bottom, and right, because these 2 men wearing different colors of t-shirts, right? And it already, this one shows you at the bottom too, because there's no children of it, so it's just how many times you visited this page. So okay, let's get back. If you are not at the bottom, if you are not a page at the, or a file that contains information at the bottom, contain words at the bottom, you will have some children's, and if you click it, you'll go to your children's, right? And it proves that my saying is correct, because that where is that shit? Sorry, because that you are currently in this file or folder that has information contains, right? It has 2 files as its children or child, so there are 2 of it, right? So if you click config, there are so many children of it. Right, there's so many children, 55 children of it, and it's 14. It has 14 simplings. Very, very direct than Siyuan's official, you know, this one. But of course, Siyuan's is a lot more better, a lot better, because it allows you to choose the branches, and you know, go to the branches. Just it allows you to choose branches directly, right? From anywhere and to anywhere, right? But not my shits. My shits is just choose simplings. It's not a branch, but it's a start of a branch, right? So this is a drawback of my plugin. However, it's fixable, because inside Silverblade you can edit your own plugins. Right? You can program it yourself. So, but there one benefit I'll show you. The benefit is that if there are 55 children of it, how could you filter it? In Siyuan, you want to use the this one, right? This filtering first time and second time or some shit, right? So you will filter many times. In terms of its simplings, you can only hover over and see if it is what you want. But inside Silverblade and in your plugin, or specifically my plugin, you can design it as the click it, and you can query it. You know, just for example, you wanna I wanna find a folder called select some shit, right? So you know, that's just, you can search it, type some words, and filtering the simpling's name, right? Is another difference or advantages of the plugin made in Silverblade. So both of them have drawbacks and advantages, and long, how to say, strengths, right? So this is a top widget in Silverblade that renders every time you open a page. And there's something that is bottom widget. It is yet another logic of it. That is by default it shows you the children of a page, the children of a folder or file, the children, right? In the past, and at the end, in the top it shows you the children, but at the bottom, in the end, it shows the sibling. So it switches. In the top, it shows the sibling and the children. In the bottom, at the bottom, it shows you the children and the sibling. Just children and sibling are switches. Are switched. This is the last modified files as a sibling, and this is our last view files or folders or pages as a sibling, and this is as children. Anyway, it's just 互补的, I don't know how to say in Chinese, translated in English. 互补 translated in English. You know, it's just what I mean, or what these plugins breadcrumbs mean, right? So, okay, this is almost about the second episode of the triology. That is the breadcrumbs, the top or bottom breadcrumbs of another tree or tree system, right?